thing in your nightmare, that thing that's holding you back, that thing that's dragging you down, that thing is you. You will not outwork me.
And the whole gig is just a giant hustle. That's all it is. Life is just a hustle. That's all life is. One giant hustle. Alright, so we just took one light off, fixed our trailer, and you can see where we masked it. That's not a bad thing. Is honestly, I should have had these tail lights with male and female spades, where you could take them off and change them. And then I should have just took them off for paint. I should have cut the wires for paint, took them off, and then to put them back on, put male and female spades. That way, if you need to service them, you could change them up, and you would have maybe a screw hole, but not paint missing. Because now, of course, the new ones I've got are not the exact. So let's see here. That's roughly the same length right there. So you can see they're a little bit short. And yes, we're using the race car as a workbench, as we often do. So yeah, it's not going to, let's see here. And then you got to worry about where the light's positioned. So it's not exactly gonna cover like it should. Let's see here. I think the top hole might know not to get the wires through. So we have to do something to hide that. I do have reflective vinyl up here, so I think I'm going to come across here and do some reflectors, and then put the lights like this, so there's reflectors on the back also, and that will help do that. Let's unlock the side of the trailer and grab them extra reflective tape that I have. Grabbing these reflectors, and I just noticed, boy, something hit the piss out of my vehicle. Look at that, dude. That is all the way through the metal, son, and the fenders. Man, I'm telling y'all, I know y'all think this car is like flawless, but dude, this thing takes a beating, and it is so bad. Like, the paint is so rough. It needs to be clay barred really bad, man. It needs some attention. Look at the scratches. Oh man, that thing has a hard life. I know it looks good overall, but man, it gets treated rough. We're gonna have to, it's just this dirt, man. And in this trailer too, like the floors, I haven't been able to seal the floors up yet, and 100%, like, I tried to, and they just still vibrated loose and shrunk back to caulking. Like, you can see some of the caulking down there, it shrunk back. But just dust blows around in here. I need to get a car cover to go over it like Randy does, so that when it's transporting it, there's not so much dust floating around in here and landing on it. Because then you get to a track, and you take a rag and you wipe it off without blowing it off, and the worst thing you can do, I need to pick up one of the dusters. Maybe I'll actually order that real fast and use my commercial account and have them send it over as one of the California dusters. Let's just see how much that thing is. All right, as always, when you're trying to get out of town, of course, it's still the same old story. You can't get nothing done. I go to put the brake lights on, the new brake lights, and everything is on, but they're on, but they still don't work properly. So we switched it over to the Tahoe, and the Tahoe got a different results where everything worked a lot better, but the running lights were like flashing. So we figured we had an issue with the truck. So we pulled the truck into bay, took the whole bumper off, cleaned the factory ground, cleaned the factory plug, re-pushed everything together, and we got tremendously better results. Pulled it back out here, put it on the trailer, got the running lights back, got turn signals, got everything back. No, the tail light running lights. Got everything back besides the marker lights, the clearance running lights on the trailer. So I don't have that, so that's what I'm chasing now. I picked up, my mechanic recommended these little tools. They come in a scanner for him. The ends right here, okay, as I turn this knob, I'll show you what happens. The end has, I don't know if it'll focus. Okay, this little round sleeve is gonna come in, and then you can't see it, but there's gonna be a little needle. Wish it would focus for y'all. It won't focus. Anyway, there's a little needle inside this end that then stabs the wire, and then I can put my voltage tester on here, and you can test wires like that without destroying anything. So this wire right here is the running lights. I probed it right there. I've got 12, 14 volts, 13 some change volts right there. And then I probed it over here, and I've got 5.9. So I'm losing all that voltage right through here. Now this wire is really bubbly, as you can see right here. So I don't know if it's corroded all up on the inside, causing issues, but I'm praying that this is it. I'm gonna cut this connector out, put a new connector on it, and hoping I get my running lights back, because then I'll be set. So here goes one of our problems for sure. The wire is like corroded inside. All right, so I spliced in this yellow, and you can see where this wire has been turning colors from hitting the sun. So I'm pretty sure rain is just running into these connectors. You know, I've got them all spliced right here, and I don't remember where this wiring come from. I think this wiring come with this box. This is a really cheap junction box off like Amazon. But all of these wires are literally, I mean, I had to just keep on stripping it back to finally find some wires that weren't corroded. I mean, that's how much I had to cut off to find wires that weren't just breaking immediately as soon as you did it. So you can see this one right here really good. So I'm gonna mark this up as cheap eBay wires, probably. Just junk wires, man. So what we're gonna do, this does work now. Ed just checked it with me. We've got running lights, so we're good to go to the racetrack tonight. But we're gonna come in here and we're gonna cut these trailer wires. They still need to be loomed up. I haven't even done that. We're gonna come in here, cut them up under the trailer, all of them, and then run new wire from that to here. That way our junctions where our butt splices are under the trailer, and they're out of the rain, and they're not, you know, right here. And then we need to go ahead and put the loom on it and all that stuff. And we'll rerun them in the box and do the eye hooks and all that. So I'm gonna go ahead and I think I want to put headlights in my truck if I got time, but I really need to go paint one more car for the business before. If not, we're gonna still be riding around with one headlight like I've been doing for a long time. Now, so we are out here with John. You'll probably see my videos on John's, I'm sure. I've got my car, Mike's got his car, John's got his car out. So we're gonna try it tonight. We're gonna try the trans brake tonight is one of the goals. I just told Brendan that maybe we should foot brake the first pass to get me worn back up, since I haven't obviously been down the track recently, and then maybe do the trans brake on the next one. I'm not sure what we're gonna decide yet. We're back on radials, so I've never been down the track on radials, but we'll see what happens. I'll probably just give y'all on this one the in-car footage and stuff like that, and maybe let John do the whole thing, or me and John will sort it out. Either way, y'all will get to see all the content, no matter if it's on my channel or if it's on John's channel. I got my dad out here today. He's gonna help me. He rode out. And of course, John, I think Randy's on his way. He's gonna be out here, and everybody. Should be a good afternoon, hopefully. I would love to be able to get 3 passes in, but we'll see. right, so on the first pass, I don't know what happened exactly. It felt like it literally, like it moved. So to me, it felt like it was just like sliding, like you're on soap, like it was just sliding all around. And I let off of it, and then I got back in it, and definitely we ran slower on that one. All right, so the car just felt like it was like moving around, and I don't know, it just kind of like spooked me because I've been working up to it and getting the feel for everything, learning, and everything has just felt so smooth. Like I haven't felt the car move. Like it's felt like it's on rails pretty much every single time until tonight. All the other issues I was having was just me like letting out of it, stuff like that. I was never really scared of the car moving like this. I don't know, first time with radials. John said them were not like pro bracket radials, they were more like street radials. So that could have been it, but the cameras looks like it's locked up, like it's on the track, but it's just, I don't know, man. That just really freaked me out. Got back, got out of it. Smart thing to do. I mean, I'm ready to turn this thing around and go again and see how it feels on the second pass, but that was unexpected. So the rear view mirror flew off also. The cell phone flew out and went in there. And when the rear view mirror flew off, this piece right here was left on the windshield, and then the whole rest of the body come off and went all the way to the passenger seat. It didn't bust or nothing like that. So we're going to try to figure out what's going on with that.
I think we just need to push this down in there.
Maybe.
I didn't know you had lights underneath the car.
They come on with everything.
Just in the back though, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to leave this open as long as I can to keep you cool. There's a little bit of cool air coming on.
Alright, now by this time I've already been sitting in the car for going on 20 minutes between sitting in the staging lanes and then pulling up here to the starting line, slowly working my way up to the starting line. Alright, so you see the guy giving the hand signals to go ahead and pull up, but normally I always watch for Randy's hand signals. He is paying attention to what's going on. So he's lining me up, and then all of a sudden you can see the pit guys to the left of the screen starting to take off running. Randy hasn't quite caught it yet, but then he can hear people yelling for him to go ahead and kill the engine and give me a sign to kill the engine. So this time I cut this car off, trying to see what's going on. So, and then I can barely see that there's fire underneath this car to the left of me.
and then you can start seeing emergency personnel coming down the track. So I'm like, man, dude, we just sat in this car for over 20 minutes, and now we no telling how much longer we're gonna have to sit here. And then you'll see here in a second, I've cut a bunch of time out of these clips, but they decide to push me back, and then I literally just have to sit and wait.
That car's got a fire going on underneath it. Like a bunch of clouds. Still use a fire extinguisher. There's up there with bottles of water. I reckon that's all they had.
Alright, you can finally see and maybe hear Randy go ahead and tell me to pull the helmet. That it's going to at least be 10 minutes before we get back going.
Push it back. Hold on, hold on. Alright. What are you going to do?
Alright, so for anybody who's wondering, all this shifting of the shifter back and forth, it's because currently the neutral safety is not working. The neutral safety works, like it will start in park, and it won't start in other gears, but it also won't start in neutral. So something needs to be adjusted. So every time I stop the car, I have to go back to park to get the car to crank back up instead of just letting it sit in neutral. So definitely gonna have to fix that. Now I have officially been in the car for close to 30 minutes from the time that I first strapped in the staging lanes, all the way through the push-up, and all the way through sitting through all of this. So my legs are literally going to sleep. My feet are tingling. My butt is sore from sitting in these hard seats. Like, I am ready just to get down this track and get it over with. I'm sure somebody's going to say something about the lights on and off. I'm literally just double and triple checking that I have the switches on that I want on, and everything is how I want it before I go down this track. Now, Randy's already gave me the instructions that we are going to pull up to the tree this time, and we are going to ignore the tree. We're going to let lights do its thing. We're going to let the tree drop, and then we're going to go on the trans brake, and we're going to completely ignore the green and all that, and we're just going to focus on the trans brake. So for most people, you know how the trans brake works. You think it's pretty basic, but then when you're new to this and you're trying to figure everything out, you start second guessing yourself, and that's literally what happened to me on the line. Now I'm literally starting to second guess myself, going through my head, trying to remember the most basic steps. Foot on the brake, foot on the hand on the trans brake, foot on the gas, foot off the brake, then finger off the trans brake. And I'm literally trying to tell myself this in my head, like, this is the order it goes in, this is basic, you got this, everything will be perfectly fine. And for some reason things just don't connect. There's that. For some reason, I think I've kind of messed myself up foot braking since everything's brand new to me. I'm already trying to establish routines and do things the same way every time. And clearly, I think I was seeing the RPMs on the dash, because that's what I've been paying attention to, trying to foot brake it anywhere from 18 to 22. And I think that my brain was just automatically going back, defaulting back to foot braking and trying to hold the RPMs at that, but also your brain's thinking, you know, hey, you're on the trans brake, you got to do the trans brake thing. And I think that just the brain did not shut out, hey, don't foot brake this thing, you know, just hold this thing to the floor. And at this point on the return road, I'm literally just like what happened? Because at this time I'm still not sure, because it's just kind of so overwhelming. There's so much new stuff still that it's hard to remember exactly what you did. And I still was unsure. I didn't know if maybe the trans brake was set too low and John needed to turn it up, or what. I really had no clue at this point what happened until John pulled the data log. And as you've seen in John's video, what happened is, if you didn't watch John's video on this track outing, is that I actually only, you know, as you just seen, gave the throttle 28%. So you've seen the RPMs on the dash, and I didn't give it enough. So the next track outing, this was the last pass we made. The next track outing will definitely, hopefully, get some good passes on the trans brake, and y'all will see that in the next video. I greatly appreciate y'all watching. Stick around.